Hi, my name is Robin Wong. I'm a photographer based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I have with me the new Nikon ZF. I want to share my thoughts on this camera in this video. Let's do this. Before we dive in, here are some important disclaimers. This Nikon ZF is not mine. I did not buy this camera. I think at this moment it is not available for sale yet. It is on pre-order and I borrowed this from Futuromic. Special thanks to Futuromic Malaysia, the official distributor for Nikon. And I was actually invited to the media launch, but unfortunately I couldn't make it. But here I am a few days later at a camera fair organized by YL Camera, one of the largest camera retailers in Malaysia. I went to Futuromic, I spoke to the people, I said, hey, can I borrow your Nikon ZF for a while? And they said yes. Also, this is not actually a review. I just got this camera like 15 minutes ago. I'm just sharing my first impressions and some thoughts that I have on this Nikon ZF. And I thought Nikon did a lot of things right with this camera. The first thing that Nikon did right was the design. Oh my goodness! I know that the trend is going for the retro classic design, but Nikon is actually a camera manufacturer. They have been around for so long and they derived the inspiration of this Nikon ZF from their own film camera, the classic legendary FM2. I know some other camera manufacturers, they thrive on camera designs and I don't want to name names, but they are not really camera manufacturers. They make film, so they sort of copied other camera design and call it their own. But Nikon, they have always been making cameras and their cameras look really good. Looking at this Nikon ZF, it is minimalist. It doesn't look like a DSLR. It looks really sleek and it looks like a camera that I want to pick up and go out and have fun. I really like that there are multiple dials on the body itself for dedicated controls. There is the ISO dial, there is the shutter speed dial, and there is even an F number display to show you the aperture setting that you are at, which is separate from the main screen. Of course, there's also the exposure compensation dial. I think the layout is very clean. All the things are where they are supposed to be and it's very easy to get to the settings quickly. Just a few notes on camera designs. I feel that overall the camera designs in the industry, they are getting too similar. It looks too stereotypical. We have the typical DSLR. They all look like a black box. They all look so similar. And I like that Nikon is making their cameras look a little bit more classic, a little bit more retro. And I think that's what cameras are all about. For non-professional use, cameras are supposed to be fun and something that truly inspires you to pick it up, go out and actually shoot. The second thing that the Nikon got right with this ZF is the build quality. My goodness, this camera is solidly constructed. It is made of all metal all around and as I held in my hands, it feels really reassuring. I like that they didn't chip out on the design, although this is not really priced at the premium level like the Z8 or Z9. This probably costs about half the price of Z8, but still, it does not feel cheap. It feels really good in hand. Unlike certain camera manufacturers at the same price point, they don't feel as good. The third thing I like about this Nikon ZF is the beefy specifications. The LCD screen, the electronic viewfinder, they are large, bright and really high in resolution. They are smooth and highly visible even shooting in these bright conditions. Unlike certain brands that actually chip out on certain parts of the camera at this price point, but I like that Nikon ZF, they put in really good parts in their cameras. And even in terms of image processor, it is from the higher end Z8 and also the autofocus system. It is exactly the same as what's found in the Z8, and that's truly impressive. I'm also particularly impressed with the autofocus sensitivity. Nikon claimed that they can go all the way down to -10 EV if you use the f1.2 lens, if I remember correctly, and that is truly mind-blowing. Of course, there's no way for me to test it out here. It is really bright now during daytime, but if that is true, I truly appreciate the ability to focus in really dim conditions. That will be really a huge game changer for my kind of photography that I do. I also like that the image stabilization actually follows the focusing point. I thought that's something that a lot of camera manufacturers could have done, and Nikon was the first one to do that. Surprise, surprise. They claim that the image stabilization, which is built into the image sensor in camera, with the focusing point as you set where they are around the frame, the image stabilization is focused according to that particular area to make sure that wherever you focus at will be totally blur free. I think this should be the default implementation of any image stabilization system out there. And finally, number 5, what I'm truly impressed with this Nikon ZF is the asking price. The asking price is about the same as the flagship cameras from Micro Four Thirds, say the OM System OM1 or the latest Panasonic G9 Mark II. And this is actually a full frame camera. For it to have the latest image processor, to have the latest autofocus system, to have an advanced image stabilization, to have this nice build quality and really beefy specifications in a nice looking retro classic body, I thought Nikon is doing really well. I think they're doing the right thing. I think this Nikon ZF is going to be a hit. Even I myself is considering to think about saving up to get one myself. Quick first impression of this Nikon ZF. I like that the camera is not too large, not too heavy. It feels like the size is just right. Like I've mentioned, I love the retro styling of the camera. I think we should have more retro looking cameras like this. And pairing this small size camera with smaller compact lenses like this prime lens, the Nikon Z40 f2, this is just the right combo for street photography. I know that I've just got this camera, I haven't done any shooting with it, but from my quick test, the autofocus is really fast. I think that this could be a killer street photography machine, and I thought maybe I can borrow this either from a friend or from Futuromic and just bring this out for some street adventure. That would have been really awesome. That's all I have to share about this Nikon ZF. I know this is a short video, but hey, it is just my quick first impression, and I'm truly impressed with what Nikon has done in this ZF. I think this should be the blueprint for future cameras moving forward, either from Micro Four Thirds system, from other full frame or APS-C camera system, having a really nice looking camera, the design that inspires you to pick up the camera and go out to shoot, having really beefy specifications with no compromise, and at the right pricing. I think we should have more and more cameras like this. Let me know your thoughts on this Nikon ZF. Do you agree with what I think? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you found my sharing beneficial, please consider buying me a cup of coffee, or you can contribute directly to my PayPal. Links in the description below on how you can do that. Any small contribution goes a long way, will definitely help me to continue making more content and publish them right here. Special thanks to Futuromic Malaysia and for this Nikon ZF, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.